Still revered 17 years after leaving the Dodger dugout. The Goodwill Ambassador of Baseball, Hall of Famer Tommy Lasorda. Next on Icons of Coaching. Hi, and welcome to Icons of Coaching. I'm Dave Barnett. If Vince Lombardi was the football coach straight from Central Casting, then his baseball counterpart has to be Tommy Lasorda, and not just because he worked only a few miles from Hollywood. He still looks the part, and he certainly acted the part. A forgotten part of his script is how it began as a Phillies farmhand who struck out 53 batters in a 3-start stretch, drawing the attention of the Brooklyn Dodgers.
I thought I could pitch in the big leagues. I played with guys, who went to the big leagues. And they were successful in the major leagues. And I never got the real opportunity to do it. I don't know why, but I just never had it. I was pitching in Montreal, and I was 4-5 when I started the streak. I'd won 10 games in a row, which gave me 14-5. And they told me that if I pitched a good game tonight in Toronto, I was to go to the big leagues, to Brooklyn. So I said, I'm going up and pack my bag, because I know I'm going to pitch against them, and I know I'm going to win. And I beat them. I think 4-0 or 4-1. And they told me I was to go to Brooklyn. So I said, well, I have a wife and a little daughter in Montreal. How am I going to get them if I have to go to Brooklyn? No, I just pitched 9 innings. I know I'm not going to be able to pitch at least 4 days. No, you got to go right away. So I had my brother fly up and drive my wife and a little daughter down to my place in Pennsylvania. But the big thing about it is I never got in the games. When I went there, I felt like I can beat anybody. You know, you're walking off a 10-game streak. And I just never got a real chance, really.
Did that affect how you dealt with people that you managed later who were in the same position that you had been in as a player?
It did. It helped me. It helped me to help them. It helped me to understand them.
The first thing about Tommy Lasorda, and I've known him over 60 years, one year when he was still a rookie pitcher in the minor leagues, I heard that he, on a bet for $50, he was going to pitch batting practice to every man in camp. Well, there happened to be 625 players, and the general manager, who had tauntingly made the bet, said, I can't make the bet because he's going to try and do it. In a sense, that sums up Tommy Lasorda. He thinks and did most things that he wanted to do, including win the pennant, win the World Series. He has a tremendous drive to live.
My major philosophy was to get a group of guys, a team, and number one, make them believe in themselves. Number two, to play and be like a family. Have a family attitude on that ball club. I knew every player's wife's name. I knew every player's children's name. So it was not just a manager and a player. It was a manager and a family. And I felt that if I could be very close to the family, then I could get them to play better. I wanted them to believe in themselves very, very much. I told them, getting the opportunity to play, you got to believe in yourself. You got to have self-confidence. Self-confidence is, without a doubt, the first step to success. You get those guys believing in themselves and making them play for the name on the front of their shirt and not for the name on the back of their shirt, then you're gonna develop players. You're gonna have successful teams.
Tommy Lasorda's immediate, surprising success. When Icons of Coaching continues. Tommy Lasorda succeeded a Hall of Fame manager, Walter Alston, in 1977 and walked into a landscape dominated not by Dodger Blue, but by the Big Red Machine, winners of back-to-back World Series. Color Lasorda undaunted.
Cincinnati in 1975 had beaten us by many games. 1976, they beat us by many games. And I took over in 1977. And I went all over the country speaking, telling them the Reds will never beat the Dodgers again. Well, when I got back from a speaking tour, Mr. Campanis called me in his office. He said, look, you got to be out of your mind. Going around talking like that, the Reds will never beat us again. You know, they've got a championship team. I said it and I believe it. He said, I know you're very optimistic, but you can't be talking like that. I said, optimistic? I said, you better believe I'm optimistic. I said, in fact, I want to go on record as saying that I'm the second greatest optimist in the history of this country. And he said, yeah? Who was number one? I said, General George C. Custer.
I don't know if I've ever been around anyone that set a better environment of confidence and winning than Tommy did. And you know, I think it's a lesson for all of us that played for him, how important confidence is, and it's a confidence game, and he was the best at it.
Lasorda's first two teams won the National League pennant but fell to the Yankees in the World Series. The Dodgers won a rematch in 1981. But 7 years later, they faced the overwhelmingly favored Oakland A's. Even Tommy Lasorda, the ultimate optimist, didn't see it coming when his hobbled MVP, Kirk Gibson, got his Game 1, bottom of the ninth moment. And the city of Los Angeles got its all-time sports memory.
When we started to play the inning, our clubhouse kid, Mitch, he called me and said, Tommy, come here. I said, Mitch, leave me alone, man. We got to win this game. He said, hurry, come here, come here. So I went over and he says, Gibson's up there. He's putting his uniform on. I said, really? I said, yeah. So he came down and I said, can you hit? And he said, yeah, I'll hit for you. So I left him because I didn't want him to change his mind. So I changed the rotation of what was going to happen. And the reaction of the crowd, as I said, I got goosebumps. I said, I'm going to give him 2 strikes to hit one out. And if he doesn't, we're going to have to play for a tie. I'll have Davis steal second base and maybe get a base hit. So waited till he got 2 strikes. We stole second base. And then first base is open. But they weren't going to put him on. He was a winning run.